Welcome back guys to the Nether Only run. This is the third video. I thought I would start off showing you guys something I did completely wrong. So I thought the only way you could get dirt was by dying. And guess what I did for quite a few deaths. Yep, build a nerd pole and throw myself off. I think I probably ended up getting over 100 blocks of dirt this way. It's definitely not my brightest moment in the run. There's actually a biome in the Nether where it spawns dirt. You know those blocks that always burn you when you traverse the Nether? Yeah, that's right. If you mine them, you can get coarse dirt. And they can just be used as normal farmland. Well, I must say, at least my dropper skills really improved. This just goes to show that even when you've completed the game twice, you always learn something new. Which, yeah, I guess it is the first time I'm doing this challenge. Ultimately, this slowed down my crop progression quite a lot, considering I only had a couple blocks to work with. This kind of started driving me insane. I'm so glad I found out just a bit later, and I didn't fill my whole crop plot using this method. Dealing with the skeletons that just constantly spawn from your graves is a nightmare, especially when you have like 20 or so of them. Well, at least I've now learned how to deal with them. There is a pretty simple strategy where you can just lure these skeletons away from your spawn, or you can kill them. But normally luring them makes them a lot easier to deal with, especially when they're infernal and you just can't kill them with your current gear. Luckily, I've accumulated a ton of swords and axes from my blaze farm, so that was a really good investment, and I'm glad I did that early. If I was still stuck with just my fists, I would just, not want to play. Good to have tools for hundreds of deaths stored in a chest available for you at all times. Okay, so I did this quite a few more times, so I'll skip that part and let's move straight to the farming. So in GTNH, all the farming is currently done through IC2. In 2.8, they are trying to change it to make it deterministic, but at this current moment, I will be playing the current version. So to start IC2, I need to craft a bunch of crop sticks. This needs quite a lot of iron and wood, so I will have to be solving iron first. Currently I am crafting a tool that will be removed in 2.8. This is the GregTech variant of the pickaxe. I put this on the flowchart because the recipe is really annoying to find. It took me quite a while, I'm not gonna lie, but this pickaxe can actually mine iron veins. I think flint can mine some of them, but not all of them, but this has a level 2 level. There are a couple alternative routes if you're looking to try this in 2.8, which will be quite a while away, but you can get obsidian early, and you can actually obtain thormium and make a thormium pickaxe. I just decided this was the easiest route in my particular circumstance, because I think Nether runs are going to be sometimes quite different early game, potentially, depending on what you chose to do first. I really hope you enjoy microcrafting, because there is going to be a lot. The assembler recipe for the crop sticks are locked quite away, so we have to be very inefficient when crafting these. Nice. The farming achievement. It's official. Okay, so I'll try to explain the mechanics, or basic mechanics, of IC2 crops here in this video, just so the non-GTNH players can understand the pain of what it is. So basically, crops can kind of mutate, or crossbreed in this case of IC2, into a ton of different things at like a very low percentage chance. This is very random, so you can get super lucky or super unlucky based on how you start crops. Every crop has a certain percentage of mutating into a random other crop. This information has been data mined by some people and has turned into like quite a useful spreadsheet, or I guess it's a tool where you can see what crop can mutate best into another crop. This information can all be found on the wiki. In GTNH in EV, you can use open computers to actually automate this whole process, which makes it a lot easier. A lot of people tend to not do crops based on how much time they take. So basically how it works, or how I'm going to have to do it, is I'm going to have to place any two plantable like seeds and wait for them to grow. Once they are grown, I can place crop sticks between them. And between the two seeds, there's a chance for a new crop to propagate. Most of the time, this will be the same as one of the parents, but there is a very small chance that it could be a different plant. And in this run, we will be relying on this heavily to obtain items that we could not obtain without this. There are ways to do crops more efficiently than others, but I prefer to have tons of chances of crossbreeding. So I might be doing this a bit differently to how you do it, but it's just personal style. So as I said in last episode, the main crop that we want will be cactus. Cactus will carry us throughout the early game. And in fact, I am potentially going to be doing a cactus only water run. So throughout the remainder of the run, I'm going to be trying to use cactus to power, or just use cactus for our water needs. There is actually a potential reward hidden, mentioned in the quest book. The first player to do this cactus challenge will receive a cape. So I'm going to test if that cape is real and actually try to do the challenge. I have yet to hear anyone get past even EV with just pure cactus. So we will see what we will do. This is going to make power quite the challenge right now. So I'm going to have to plan this quite carefully. In a normal Nether only run, the only other source of water you can get works pretty great. It's called the Stirling water, or the Stirling engine. It can basically just produce water from pure coal, and it's quite good. The barrier of entry for this is just steel. So once you get your smeltery up, you can macerate your chain armor and make steel ingots using your smeltery. Then you have instant access to pretty decent water. I think it was like 150 liters per second from just any burnable source. You could even use lava, which is what I was planning initially, but I want to make this challenge just a little bit more special and harder than the normal only Nether run. I really hope this doesn't bite me back in the ass, but yeah, I've planned out some plans for late game, or not late game, mid game, and I think it can definitely suffice. This means I'll have to avoid mixing water from byproducts with the water on my main. And yeah, it's definitely going to be something interesting to think about later. Let me know what you guys think about this. Even in a normal GTNH run, this is quite the challenge. Okay, so I think I might jump ahead to when I actually get something decent. I actually end up doing a lot of my crop grind on Twitch, and I met a lot of really nice people. I will leave a link in the description if you want to give me a follow, and yeah, feel free to come say hi and ask me as many questions as you want. It has been a good time so far, so I think I'll keep doing it. So I managed to get some sugar beet here, some blueberries, and some raspberries, and some melons for my first crops, which is actually kind of insane. Sugar beet alongside stickweed breeds into a lot of the same crops, so I'm kind of happy. It just grows a little bit slower, but it has a few more desirable crops that I would like, including the cactus. I'm pretty sure melons as well actually have a higher chance of breeding into vanilla variants, such as sugarcane, which we want for stickweed. So I'm going to be trying to crossbreed those as well with other variants. So hopefully I can get it soon. Here I just came back from a mining session. Iron veins are pretty abundant in the nether, and they can be close to the surface. Like I had one really close to my original home. So I've just chucked it into my nether furnaces and they are cooking, so I can make some more crop sticks. Here you can see me trying to sort my crops. This later does not happen at all. I have a habit of always sorting the chest's inventory, and in order to sort crops like this, that doesn't particularly like that. It's just too hard for me to remember. But as you see, I got some onions and I put them in my chest. Maybe I can finally start a actual food source. Fun fact, I did not. So you're going to be watching me starve for a while. I also recently started a crop migration. I realized when I get the crops that require a block underneath, I will be required to break the bedrock. So that's not very, I guess, user-friendly, as you may say. So I'm going to elevate it a few blocks. I don't really care about the 4-block dirt bonus, as it's not extremely easy for me to gain dirt. Maybe later when I make my final farms and I have the crop pot, I'll put them at a really high Y level and actually put 4 layers of dirt. So for now, I'll just make them access friendly and make my life breeding crops as easy as possible, because I will be doing it for quite a while. As always, let's just jump straight into a montage. you enjoyed that extract. That was about, I would like to say, 6 hours of gameplay. Hopefully that shows how painful IC2 crops can be and how patient you need to be. I still have quite a lot of crops to breed left, so that's not the end of it, at least for this run. So the next thing on my list will be to start the cactus farm. So the cactus farm will be needed for progression. If you notice in the clips, I actually have a villager now. One of the pigmen that I tried to kill actually spawned a reinforcement for me, and I ended up dying a lot of times because it spawned quite a lot. But we got there, and all that matters was the zombie villager. So I just killed it with my weakness and golden apples that I already got from the Blaze farms. Sadly, my OBS hit the 5-hour cap, so I don't actually have any footage of that, but I do have the spawning platform that I can show you guys. Basically, how it works is that every single zombie pigment has a chance to be a leader, and these leaders have a really high chance to spawn reinforcement zombies. These reinforcement zombies can spawn in whatever biome, and apparently the Nether is included. It's a fairly rare event, so I've only had it once throughout this game, but if it ever happens again, I'll make sure I clip it. Also, if you guys are trying to get this zombie, make sure you set it to hard mode. They only spawn in hard mode. I indicated it on the flowchart, so hopefully no one tries to hunt for this while not in hard mode. Villagers are going to unlock a lot of useful things for us, including potential steel. They can sell clay for the quests, glass, and a bunch of awesome stuff that is helpful for us now. Later on, it will allow us to push into magic, and magic can enable quite a few things. It's actually pretty required in a Nether Only run. So for all you magic haters, I may try to go slow on that part and try teach kind of the basics of what I'm doing, because magic in Nether Only is quite a lot different to just a normal run. Like, all your shards you have to trade for. You're stuck with a profane wand until you can get a magic sapling, and good luck getting your Twilight Forest stuff without the Twilight Forest. Hopefully along the way I can make some tutorials on some early game stuff, like I already did with the TNT duper setup and the runic outer automation. Actually, I'll definitely be using both of those in this, so you'll be able to see its use case in an actual game. Let me guys know if you want any tutorials for anything. I'm pretty competent in the game, so I could probably do anything. Also, if you want any more details for anything I do on this run, please let me know in my Discord or in the comments. I think I may do a proper tutorial on the type of villager breeder that I'm going to build, as I know a lot of guys in GOG always struggle making their first one, at least. Next video, I'll go through my villager progress that I've done. I did on stream, actually. So yay, I finally unlocked the ability to craft water. It only took 20 hours. That's kind of ridiculous to me. But soon we can start entering Steam Age. If you want to see more, please subscribe. I'm going to start proceeding to do cactus only Steam Age, which is very rarely done. Not sure if I'm even the first, but we will do it. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.